Hello everyone, welcome back all of you. In the previous session, having started with our partial differential equation, we had the discussion on the topics or areas in which we are going to focus mainly from our exam point of view, and then we proceeded further with the formation part. So in that case, either we are given with the general solution or we are given with the arbitrary function. So in the both the cases, how we are going to come up with the partial differential equation, that in the first case, that if we are given with the general solution, so in that case we have to eliminate those arbitrary constants, or if we are given with the arbitrary functions, so we'll have to take that particular thing as f of u comma v is equal to 0, and then we'll have to come up with the partial differential equation. So we had discussion on one case on both the types, and now in the second case we are going to proceed further, because in the second, third and fourth topic, as I mentioned in the previous session in the introduction, we are going to proceed in the forward direction, that we are given with the partial differential equation, and we'll have to write the general solution of it. So the second topic was Lagrange's linear equation. So in the case of first order and first degree, so if it is first order, so we are going to talk about terms like p and q. That also I made it very clear that z is the function of x and y. So we are going to talk about only two independent variables. So a number of arbitrary constants in the solution will be 2 only, or if we are talking in terms of arbitrary functions, so we are going to get only one arbitrary function. So in the case of first order, we are going to talk about dou z by dou x and dou z by dou y terms, and I named them as small p and small q. And if it is first degree, so we are going to have the power of p and q is equal to 1 and 1 only. So we are going to talk about first degree means linear differential equation. So in the case of Lagrange's linear equation, we have this standard form, something like capital P small p plus capital Q small q is equal to R. So if we are given with the any of the first order first degree linear differential equation, and if it is comparable with our Lagrange's standard form, we'll have to write the values of capital P and capital Q and capital R. So I have taken one example. So dou z by dou x minus dou z by dou y is equal to log of x plus y. So this is nothing but our first order first degree partial differential equation. So by comparing both of this, we have first of all we'll have to substitute dou z by dou x as small p and dou z by dou y as small q is equal to log of x plus y. So on comparing, we have capital P, so the multiplication of small p is nothing but 1, and capital Q, the multiplication of small q, this is nothing but minus 1, right? So capital Q is equal to minus 1, and on the right hand side we have capital R as log of x plus y. So after comparing it with our standard Lagrange's linear differential equation, we have values of p, q and r. So and now we have to write the general solution. So how you are going to do that? So we have Lagrange's auxiliary equation. You have to write it in the format dx upon capital P, dy upon capital Q, and dz upon capital R. So put the values of p, q and r over there. So we have from here we have dx upon p, p is nothing but 1, dy upon q, q is nothing but minus 1, and dz upon r, r is nothing but log of x plus y. So after this we will have to solve any two simultaneous equation, because if we take any two of the equality, right, dx upon 1 is equal to dy upon minus 1, so we have one equation, or dx upon 1 is equal to dz upon log of x plus y, so we have another equation, or if we have dy upon minus 1 is equal to dz upon log of x plus y, so we are going to form three different equations. So either of two we can take simultaneously, and then we'll have to write the solutions as u of x comma y comma z is equal to c1 and v of x comma y comma z is equal to c2, because we are going to get the solutions in terms of x, y and z. So that x, y, z, the function, we are going to call it as, in the first case u and in the second case v. So the general solution going to come out as f of u comma v is equal to 0, and that we are going to call it as arbitrary function. So as I said, in the case of first order linear differential equation, partial linear differential equation, we are going to have number of arbitrary constant is equal to number of independent variables, and as we are talking about z is the function of x comma y, so number of variables are independent variables are 2 only, right? So we are going to get either 2 arbitrary constants or one arbitrary function. So after comparing this, we have to write two equations. So let us take this particular part, dx is equal to minus dy, right? So dx is equal dx plus dy is equal to 0, and if you integrate both the sides, we are going to get x plus y is equal to c1. That c1 we are going to take it as something like a. So this is going to be our one arbitrary constants. And in the second case, if we take like these two equations, so this will be dy upon minus 1 is equal to dz upon log of x plus y. So we have something like dy into log of x plus y dy is equal to minus of dz. And now if you try to integrate both the sides, and by making use of equation number 1, we have x plus y is equal to a, and a is nothing but constant. So if we substitute that, we have log a dy is equal to minus of dz, and this log a, as a is the constant, this log a if we take outside, integration of dy will be nothing but y, and integration of dz is z, and we are going to get another arbitrary constant, and that we are going to take it as b, and log a was out, right? So we have the another equation, log a into y is equal to minus z plus b. So if we write in the form of equal to, right, so log a into y plus z is equal to b. So this we'll call it as equation number 2. So we have equations in the form of u of x comma y comma z as c1. C1 is nothing but a, or v of x comma y comma z is equal to c2. So if we write both the equations together, we have the general solution. And as I said, we are going to get only two arbitrary constants, so we have nothing but a and v with us. So log a into y plus z is equal to b. So these are our general solution of our Lagrange's equation, and in the form of arbitrary function we can write as f of u comma v is equal to 0. So we can write f of x plus y comma, and yeah, so log a into y plus z is equal to 0. So we have our arbitrary function f of u comma v is equal to 0. So in the previous session we were talking about in the reverse manner, that if we are given with this particular arbitrary function, we'll have to come up with this partial differential equation. And to verify yourself and to practice more on that particular concept, that if we are given with the arbitrary function, how we are going to get the partial differential equation, you try solving this particular problem in the reverse manner and try to come up with the this particular partial differential equation. So let us solve one more problem so that we can make our concept little compact one. And now we are given with the problem z minus y into p plus x minus z into q is equal to y minus x. So we are not given in the terms of dou z by dou x or dou z by dou y, we are directly given with in terms of small p and small q itself. So and now if we wish to make use of our concept Lagrange's linear equation, and we'll have to compare this particular given problem with our standard form, capital P into P plus capital Q into small q is equal to capital R. So on comparing that, we have multiplication of small p is nothing but z minus y, so we have dx upon p as dx upon z minus y. And on comparing with this particular term, we have in multiplication of small q as capital Q as x minus z. So we have the Lagrange's auxiliary equation as dx upon p is equal to dy upon q is equal to dz upon r, right? So that's what I have written directly. And in the third case, on comparison, we have r as y minus x. So we have our Lagrange's auxiliary equation as dx upon z minus y is equal to dy upon x minus z is equal to dz upon y minus x. And if we make use of same concept, that if we take any of the two possible expressions out of 3, so we are going to write dx upon z minus y is equal to dy upon x minus z. But if we try to multiply, cross multiplication, and now if we try to integrate, we are not going to end up with the solution, because this z is function of x and y. So we are will not be able to integrate z with respect to x, and here in this case z with respect to y. So in that case, if we are unable to consider any two ratios, we are going to extend our concept little further, and we are going to call it as Lagrange's method of multipliers. So what we have to do, we have to do little modification in this particular Lagrange's auxiliary equation to come up with the solution. So we are going to multiply with p1 in the both numerator and denominator. So p1 and p1 gets cancelled, so this is nothing but dx upon p only. So in this second case, we are going to multiply with q1 in the numerator and denominator both, and here we are going to multiply with r1. So we are going to equate it as p1 dx plus q1 dy plus r1 dz divided by p1p plus q1q plus r1 upon r. So as there was nothing in equal in the previous case, so what we have to do, we have to consider this particular term as 0. So to solve the solution, to solve the problem by this particular method, to get the p1, q1 and r1, we have to consider this particular denominator term p1p plus q1q plus r1r as 0. So by making use of this particular thing, first we'll have to calculate the multipliers, that what are all the possible multipliers, so that we can make use of them. So if I take all the values of p1, q1 and r1 as 1 now, and if I substitute over here, so p1 into p, so 1 into capital P is nothing but z minus y, plus q1 is nothing but 1 and q is nothing but x minus z, and these all are capitals, don't confuse yourself with small p, q and small r, and r1 into capital R is y minus x, and if you solve, this is z minus y, this is x minus z, and this is y minus x. So x minus x is 0, y minus y is 0, and z minus z is 0. So we are going to get denominator as 0. So our multipliers are nothing but 1, 1 and 1. So we have equation something like p1 dx plus q1 dy plus r1 dz divided by p1p and plus q1q plus r1r. So that is nothing but, already we have to take it as 0 only, then only we will be able to decide the values of p1, q1 and r1. So now we have to make use of this particular numerator, and we'll have to write it as dx plus dy plus dz is equal to 0, and integrate both the sides. We are going to get x plus y plus z is equal to one arbitrary constant, and that is, we are going to call it as a. So this is nothing but u of x comma y comma z is equal to c1. So we have one function now u, and again we'll have to follow the same procedure. We'll have to make p1p plus q1q plus r1r is equal to 0 with the other set of possible multipliers p1, q1 and r1, and then we'll have to again equate the numerator as 0, and we'll have to come up with the another possible function. So for now we'll take this particular function over here, x plus y plus z is equal to a. So this is nothing but u of x comma y comma z is equal to c1, and again if we multiply this dx upon p as with x and x, so I am taking the multipliers as p1 is equal to x, q1 is equal to y, and z1 is equal to z. So if we multiply this term with x and x, multiply and divide with x and x, multiply and divide by y and y, multiply and divide by z and z. So but before doing that, we have to make sure that p1p plus q1q plus r1r is equal to 0. So p1 is what, x, and p is nothing but z minus y, plus q1 is nothing but y, and q is nothing but x minus z, and r1 is nothing but z, and z is nothing but y minus x is equal to 0. Sorry, r is nothing but y minus x, and this we have to bring 0. So this is xz minus xy plus xy minus yz plus yz and minus xz. So xy gets cancelled, yz gets cancelled, and xz gets cancelled. So we have the denominator as 0. So our multipliers p1, q1 and r1 are satisfying the denominator condition as 0. So we'll have to make use of numerator now, and we have to come up with the another function v of x comma y comma z is equal to 0. So make use of this p1 dx, p1 is nothing but x, q1 is nothing but y, and r1 is nothing but z, dz is equal to 0, and integrate both the sides. We have the function as x square by 2 plus y square by 2 plus z square by 2 is equal to another arbitrary function constant, we are going to take it as b, or we can write it as x square plus y square plus z square is equal to b. That 2b, if we can again write it as another constant. So we have the second function v of x comma y comma z is equal to 0. So now we can write our general solution as f of u comma v is equal to 0. So f of u is nothing but x plus y plus z, and v is nothing but x square plus y square plus z square is equal to 0. So on comparing it with u of x comma y comma z is equal to c1 and v of x comma y comma z is equal to c2, we have u and v as x plus y plus z and x square plus y square plus z square. So f of u comma v is equal to 0. So we are going to end up with the one arbitrary function. So that's how you have to make use of Lagrange's standard form. And if we are not able to consider the equations in the standard form itself, we'll have to make use of Lagrange's method of multipliers. And to select those multipliers, we have to make sure that p1p plus q1q plus r1r has to be 0. And if those multipliers p1, q1 and r1 satisfying those conditions, we'll have to make use of numerator, that p1 dx plus q1 dy plus r1 dz is equal to 0. So in the previous case, we had the equation till here only, we had nothing like this. So we had only these three equalities, but now we have one more equality as p1 dx plus q1 dy plus r1 dz divided by p1p plus q1q plus r1r, and the denominator we are going to make use to select the multipliers p1, q1 and r1, and the numerator thing we are going to make use to come up with our function u of x comma y comma z is equal to c1 and v of x comma y comma z is equal to c2, and we are going to write the arbitrary function as f of u comma v is equal to 0. So that is how you have to deal with the problem in the Lagrange's linear standard equation, or Lagrange's method of multipliers. So that is all for this particular session. If you have any doubt, you are free to ask in the comment section. Thank you.